Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a huge problem that so many companies face: how to build a high-velocity recruitment process. We're going to show you how to hire the absolute best talent faster without ever, and I mean ever, compromising on quality.
So let's just dive right in, shall we? This is a question that, it drives hiring teams absolutely crazy. You find that perfect person, you get excited, you start the process, and then poof, they're gone. They've already taken another offer. So why does this keep happening over and over again?
And look, the answer is pretty simple, but it's also kind of brutal. The market is just fast. The very best candidates, they aren't just looking for a job, they're being headhunted constantly. So if your hiring process is slow, you're not just at a disadvantage, you're not even really in the game. Speed today isn't a luxury, it's the price of admission.
And that really gets us to the heart of the high-speed hiring problem. This isn't just some minor HR inconvenience. A slow process is a major competitive disadvantage. Think about it. Every single great candidate you lose to a competitor who just moved faster, well, that's a direct loss of innovation, of productivity, of growth for your company.
Now, when we talk about speed, I want to be really clear. This is not about being frantic or reckless. It's actually the opposite. The truly fastest hiring programs out there, they don't cut corners. They're built with intention. They're smart, efficient systems that are based on actual science and really thoughtful design.
So, what's the solution? Well, the key here is to build a system, not just wing it with a series of chaotic, disconnected steps. And that system, that foundation for both speed and quality, is called structured hiring.
So what does structured hiring even mean? Think of it this way. It's a framework that replaces that vague, subjective gut feeling with objective, hard evidence. Every interviewer asks the same core questions, and every candidate is evaluated against the same clear, predefined criteria. It's this consistency that cuts out the confusion and really speeds the whole thing up.
And getting this set up, it's actually pretty straightforward. First, you have to decide what good actually looks like for the role by building scorecards before you ever talk to a single candidate. Second, you divide and conquer. You give each interviewer a specific area to dig into. And third, you all get together to align on the scoring. That makes the final decision so much faster because it's driven by data, not by debate.
And the payoff for all this? Well, it's huge. Teams that put structured hiring into practice can literally see their success rates more than double. So what does that actually mean? It means for every candidate they shortlist, they're twice as likely to make a great hire. It works because the process is so clear and consistent that you just end up making better, faster decisions.
All right, so we've got our system in place, but a great system needs great people coming into it, right? So let's talk about the next piece of the puzzle, finding the right candidates in the first place, because this is where a lot of time gets wasted. You know, there's this old school myth that the more applications you get, the better your chances are of finding someone great. But honestly, the data shows the exact opposite. A huge flood of applicants just creates noise. It slows your recruiters down, it leads to burnout, and you end up settling. The smarter way is to focus on quality, not quantity, by going after niche communities and referrals.
Okay, here's another huge speed bump. Hunting for the unicorn. The mythical perfect candidate. This leads to endless debates, what they call analysis paralysis, and while your team is stuck arguing, your best candidates are out there accepting other job offers.
So how do you avoid this trap? It all comes down to discipline. Before you even start looking, you have to agree on your must-haves versus your nice-to-haves. Set a really clear bar for what competence looks like, and as soon as candidates clear that bar, you make a decision. You don't get stuck in that endless loop of comparing minor details.
Okay, so we've got our structure, we're targeting the right people. Now, how do we pour some fuel on this fire? Well, that's where two powerful levers come in: technology and really deep team alignment.
Technology is an incredible accelerator, but you have to use it right. It's all about finding that perfect balance. You want to use automation for all the repetitive stuff, scheduling, sending reminders, maybe some initial skill screening. But you always preserve human judgment for the critical, nuanced decisions that really matter, like that final selection.
And let's be real for a second. It's so easy to point fingers at the recruiting team when things are slow. But a lot of the time, the real bottleneck is somewhere else entirely. It's often slow feedback or changing requirements from the hiring managers themselves.
The only way to fix this is to make hiring a true team sport. It's all about shared accountability. You can do this with simple things like weekly pipeline reviews, setting hard deadlines for feedback, and even creating formal agreements between departments on how quickly things need to move. When everyone knows their role, the whole process just flows.
So when you bring all this together, the structure, the smart sourcing, the right tech, and true teamwork, what you get is something really powerful. You're not just hiring anymore. You're operating a high-velocity recruitment engine.
First up, that structured process. It gets rid of all the chaos. It replaces those subjective, messy decisions with a system that's clear, predictable, and most importantly, fair.
Next, because you're targeting your sourcing, your team isn't drowning in a sea of irrelevant resumes anymore. They can actually focus their energy on the candidates who have real potential. Then you've got your tech, doing all the heavy lifting in the background. It's handling all that administrative work, which frees up your people to do what they do best, build relationships, and make great, thoughtful decisions.
And finally, with the whole team aligned and accountable, decisions actually get made, and they get made fast. The biggest bottlenecks just disappear because hiring becomes everyone's priority.
And this is really the end goal. Your hiring process isn't frantic or reactive anymore. It becomes this high-velocity engine that's agile, fair, and completely focused on quality. It's fast because it's smart, not because it's cutting corners.
So that really leaves you with one big question to take back to your own team. Take a hard, honest look at your process. Is it an engine designed to push you forward, or is it an obstacle, holding you back and causing you to lose the very people you need the most? The choice is really up to you.